Hey everyone, it's Melissa here with thankmefirst.com for the second series of WTF, or the Wednesday Thought Forum. And I'm sorry, I'm still new to getting this video stuff down, so I guess I have to have my camera set at a certain place. But anyways, today we are going to talk about simple living. And I have some lessons here for you to maybe enhance your simple living, especially now since we're not able to do a lot of things, and things have kind of shut down. Slow movement took away our fast American pace. So with that being said, when you are living simple, it's simply just paring down and just creating a space for you to breathe. Not a lot of anticipation for much going on because you just kind of slow your pace down. With that being said, it's about finding the joys of contentment and solitude and just being laid back and low key. So the first simple living key I have for you is to create, or not to create, but to think about things that we create for ourselves, which is a lot of stress and a lot of struggles. So you want to kind of take that away from your everyday living. And a couple of ways to do that is just by not setting expectations for yourself. When you set expectations, then you're disappointed and then you can be frustrated. So let's talk about, again, downsizing things and kind of giving a low-key environment. How many of you actually get pretty antsy when there's nothing to do, or you get super bored because there's nothing to do and you feel like you have to do something? I'm a big culprit of that. If I'm just sitting there, I'm like, no, we need to go do this because we need to get things done. Now we have the time, let's go do it. But actually, no, just sit back and kick back and do nothing every once in a while because you do need to rest. Number two, we need to be mindful of what we call attachments. So what I mean by attachments is, let's say you have a lot of sentimental items that have a lot of sentimental value. So then what happens with that? Then you develop clutter. That's just a tangible example. Now, how about our minds? Let's say we have a lot of activities going on, or we feel like we have to message all the time or text people all the time. So then we have a complex life, and that's kind of what I mean by attachments. So we need to try and decrease those a little bit, and it decreases the stress in your life as well. How about distraction or busyness? You feel like you always have to be doing something to distract you from maybe doing something else, or just relaxing, or the busyness we have. Those are all what we call mental habits. And you kind of want to decrease these mental habits because after over a period of time, they can actually build up, and then it's overload because they just keep going and going and going, and it doesn't stop. Number four, this is single task. And when you have a single task, that means to go full momentum, full screen. You focus on that one task, not multitasking, kind of like what I'm doing right now, trying to multitask and look at my screen and things like that. So do as my dad always says, do as I say, not as I do. Anyways, single task. If you're washing the dishes, you solely focus on that. Maybe you're talking on the phone instead of, doing some laundry while you're talking on the phone or whatever. Just sit down and fully focus on that phone call. Same with a text message. And then things, again, are much less stressful. Number five would be create space between things. And what I mean by this is, how many times do you say, I don't have enough time in a day to do everything I need to do? So what we need to do is just pretty much cut everything in half and do it over a period of time. So let's just say, I've done this before, had to go to the ball field, and then after the ball field we got to go get dinner, and then after dinner we got to go home and we got to go cut the grass, but then after we cut the grass we're going to go to the Dairy Queen. It just keeps going and going and going. But what we need to do is pad our time. So for the ball field, Okay, let's just say that's going to take 2 hours when it's only going to take 1 for practice or whatever. So pad that extra time, and that indirectly gives you more time to do what you need to do and focus and not get stressed out. Number 6, find joy in the simple things. When I say simple things, like I like to write. Maybe some people like to read. Others may want to go for a jog or a walk. Something simple that doesn't require a huge investment. Even simply eating, sitting down and savoring your meal instead of inhaling it. And a lot of these don't require possessions either. So that's a way to declutter your life and then just decrease stress in an overall scheme. Number 7 is get clear about what you want. And a lot of us don't do this, and it's human nature. So let's just say someone, comes up with some cool idea, or they buy this new cool thing and everything, and you're okay with it, but you go ahead and buy it just because everyone else is, and it looks cool, but the novelty wears off. That's what I'm kind of talking about. There are certain things that you really want to do, right? Certain things that you want to say yes to all the time. So what we need to be cognizant of is we also need to learn how to say no. And I have a whole article on this. You can find it on thinkmefirst.com, and it's an article about saying no. And that's what we need to learn more of. A lot of us are just saying yes, yes, yes all the time because we want to please others, and it's actually a brain function. Your mind likes to say yes. So it's a natural instinct, but we need to be more cognizant about ourselves and just learn to say no to the things that we want to say no to, and yes to the things that we really actually enjoy. Number 8 is to practice doing nothing. Has anyone practiced doing nothing? Oh, hi Timmy, I see you. Finally, I get someone. If there's anyone else out there, send me hearts. I love hearts too. Anyways, so number 8, we're going to practice doing nothing. Okay, so that means no reading, no thinking, just sitting there, no talking, just sit there and do nothing. You think we can do that? Let's try that for a minute and see how you feel when you do it. Okay, here we go. We are not going to do anything for about a minute, okay? Here we go. Okay, yeah, I can't do it. I got nothing. So anyways, a lot of us probably go through this, okay? And it's a good thing to do. It's a good mental habit to try and develop, and it challenges and exposes your mind. So it's a very healthy thing for you to do, to actually sit down and do nothing and let your mind relax. It also brings a mental habit of contentment and gratitude without complaining. So these are just a few things that might help you to increase your simple living and enhance a simple life. But, the best ones are for you to find out, and you'll discover yourself. So what I want you to do is just think about some of these things, and I think you'll find out that there's a lot of different things that you might actually like that are beautiful about yourself and your life once you take the time to actually sit down and think them out and live life a lot simpler. The best kind of simplicity is that exposes the raw beauty and joy and sometimes heartbreak of life as it is. Anyways, thank you for joining me for this episode, and have a good evening. And until then, think me first. Have a good one.